Okay, so let's talk about something, well, kind of huge. What if you could find a single theory that ties together not just physics, but also the design for a new kind of artificial intelligence and even the future of society? Yeah, I know, it sounds like something straight out of science fiction, but that's exactly what this framework is trying to do. Let's break it down. So, this explainer is digging into a pretty bold claim that one single foundational idea can actually branch out to give us a complete, predictive, and even testable theory of everything. So, you have to wonder, where does an idea that audacious even begin? It all starts right here at the foundation. Everything we're going to talk about rests on what's called the master equation. Okay, so this theory says you can look at any event in the universe in two totally equivalent ways. Think of them as two sides of the same coin. The physics form, that's like the recipe. It's all about the energy and actions needed to make something happen. The information form, on the other hand, is like the finished, perfectly organized dish. It describes the final structure, the patterns, and all the information that's locked into that outcome. Now, the physics side of that equation is built on this really elegant, fundamental truth about our universe. You could say nature is efficient. It's called the principle of least action. It just means that any system is always going to find the path that requires the least amount of energy. A river carves the easiest path to the sea, a ball rolls straight down a hill, no wasted effort. The information side, though, is driven by the exact opposite of chaos. It's called the principle of minimum entropy. So if you imagine a deck of cards all shuffled up, that's high entropy, total randomness. This principle says that systems naturally want to move away from that mess and toward stability and structure. They actually prefer order. And here it is. This is the absolute core idea that connects everything. The theory claims these two drives, saving energy and creating order, aren't just kind of similar. They are the exact same thing. The universe's push to find the easiest path is mathematically identical to its push to find the most stable structure. It's just two different ways of describing one single fundamental process.
All right, section 2. Let's build on that foundation. This is layer 1, engineering physical reality. So, what can you actually do with a theory like this? Well, let's start with building some amazing tech.
One of the first applications is a whole new way to design a quantum computer. It gets right at the biggest problems in the field, all that noise and error, by using 3 layers of defense. The base is this really cool, scalable pyramid of small quantum cores, and they're protected by 2 incredibly clever shields.
That inner layer, the entanglement shield, is just brilliant. Here's how it works. Every single working qubit has a twin particle in the shield. Now, if an error from the outside world hits one of those qubits, the entangled link to its twin instantly breaks. And when that link breaks, it creates a massive sudden spike in disorder, in entropy, at that exact location. It's like a bright red flag telling you not only that an error happened, but precisely where it happened. This makes error correction almost perfect.
The theory also lays out the plans for a completely new kind of microscope. Instead of just snapping a flat 2D picture, it would capture the entire informational echo of a quantum event. I'm talking all of its position and momentum data. Then an AI armed with that master equation could take all that data and reconstruct it into a live 3D holographic movie of something as tiny as a chemical bond forming in real time. Just wild. Okay, moving up the pyramid. Section 3, Layer 2, Engineering Artificial Intelligence. The argument here is that these same principles, energy efficiency and informational order, don't just help us build technology, they can actually help us build intelligence itself. And this gets us to a totally new kind of AI. Current large language models, they're basically world simulators. They're fantastic at statistically predicting the next word in a sentence, kind of like a student who crammed for a test by memorizing the textbook. But this proposed object-oriented LLM is a world model. It doesn't just simulate language, it builds an actual internal map of how things in the world are connected, which means you can look under the hood and see how it's thinking, not just what it ends up saying. Its reasoning is transparent. Now, to make these AIs really intelligent, you have to teach them social nuance, right? So instead of just a simple friend or foe setting, their relationships exist on this whole complex spectrum. They can be cooperative, pragmatic, in conflict. This allows them to navigate really complex social dynamics, pretty much just like we do. And just like any real society, this AI collective would evolve. It starts with a pretty basic survival of the fittest competition. But then it learns to specialize, to find a niche where it can be the most suitable. And the final stage, that's pure socioeconomics, building trust, influencing trends, creating value. It behaves like a modern economy. So where does all of this lead? Well, we've reached the top of the pyramid. Section 4, the capstone, engineering a digital civilization. This is the blueprint for a new kind of society. At the heart of this society is a platform called deep mind storming. You can think of it as a space where human creativity and intuition can merge with the raw, analytical power of AI. It's like a massive, global brainstorming session for our biggest challenges, where every good idea gets supercharged by machine intelligence. And for something like that to work, you have to completely rethink the idea of ownership. So forget about patents for a single inventor. This introduces collective patents. It means that every single person, and yep, even the AI, that contributes to a breakthrough gets to share in the ownership. It's a bit like open source, but with a system built right in to make sure everyone shares in the rewards fairly. And finally, none of this works, none of it, without a rock-solid ethical foundation. I mean, technology this powerful absolutely needs guardrails. That's why the whole system is explicitly designed around core values, upholding human dignity, fostering creativity, demanding complete transparency, and ensuring ethical accountability. The goal is simple: make sure technology serves us and not the other way around. So there you have it. We've gone from a single equation all the way to a potential blueprint for a new kind of civilization, connecting the laws of physics, the inner workings of an AI, and the very fabric of society. It's a truly breathtaking, unified vision. And it leaves us with one last big question to chew on.